Welcome to Warzone Today. In today's special coverage, we delve deep into Europe's rising tensions, with Switzerland emerging as an unexpected focal point. From critical defense preparations to the potential global financial implications, strap in as we uncover why the world needs to keep an eye on this neutral nation now more than ever. Let's dive right in. The unexpected fortress, Switzerland's military pivot. Once renowned for its peaceful neutrality, Switzerland is now ramping up its defenses. With a fresh investment of 13.5 billion euros, Switzerland is laying out plans to ensure it's ready for any possible scenario, emphasizing its defensive stance in the current geopolitical setup. Bregenz, the frontier of contention. A critical Austrian city, Bregenz is now a focal point in Swiss defense planning. The concern is that if a threat emerges from the east, the Austrian army may not hold the line, making Switzerland vulnerable to a potential strike. The Alps mountains and valleys, the natural barrier. According to reports from the Neue Zürcher Zeitung, NZZ, concerning the viewpoint of Swiss military leadership, Austria and Slovakia stand between Switzerland and the ongoing war in Ukraine, summing up to just about 500 kilometers of NATO's protective barrier. In the air, the Tyrol corridor is already considered a military weak spot in the heart of Europe, since the Austrian Air Force can barely fend off threats. On the ground, the story's similar. It isn't Austria's federal army that prevents adversaries from approaching the Swiss eastern border, but the natural terrain itself, the mountain ranges and valleys of the Alps. Switzerland's secret and strategic arsenal. With a force exceeding 100,000 soldiers and an ever-modernizing arsenal, Switzerland is taking steps to protect its eastern front. The strategy involves the formation of two heavyweight military divisions to ensure the defense of critical zones, while lighter forces maintain security in surrounding regions. This effort is backed by expansive military facilities and bunkers strategically positioned throughout the nation. Europe's financial heart under threat. Swiss banks holding trillions in global wealth could send significant ripples through the world's economy if jeopardized. An assault on Switzerland would not merely be a military matter. It could spark a worldwide financial crisis, a move potentially employed strategically by hostile forces to destabilize the West. Preparing for the worst case, Switzerland's contingency plan in the event of conflict involves preemptive actions on Austrian soil. Should the dire scenario emerge where Russian missile bases are positioned in the Innsbruck region, compromising Swiss air safety, Switzerland would deploy its F-35s to neutralize the threat. The clear intent is to keep any conflict as distant from its territory as possible, especially preventing hostile forces from crossing the River Rhine. The European stage, a delicate dance of diplomacy and power. Switzerland's movement signals shifts in European geopolitics. With Russia to the east and Western Europe to the west, Switzerland finds itself in a delicate balance, and its actions now may shape Europe's political landscape in the years ahead. Switzerland, neutral yet never alone. Switzerland, famously recognized for its long-standing policy of neutrality, has never let this policy compromise its security or diplomatic ties. Nestled in the heart of Europe, Switzerland's neutrality doesn't mean it stands alone. On the contrary, its strategic importance and diplomatic prowess have ensured it a vast network of potential allies. A hub of diplomacy and cooperation. Geneva, one of Switzerland's major cities, is often hailed as the world's diplomacy capital. It houses numerous international organizations, including parts of the United Nations, the World Health Organization, the International Red Cross, and many others. This positioning at the center of global discussions means Switzerland has forged deep relationships with countries around the world. Economic alliances and mutual interests. Switzerland's economic clout also plays a role in its global relations. As home to some of the world's leading banks, corporations, and research institutions, many nations have mutual economic interests in ensuring Switzerland's stability. The intertwining of global fortunes in Swiss banks means any threat to Switzerland could potentially ripple across the world economy. Defense and prudence. Switzerland's recent massive defense investments showcase its commitment to safeguard its sovereignty. While they remain neutral, the Swiss are not naive. Their military strategy is designed not just to defend their homeland, but also to deter potential aggressors. This preparedness sends a clear signal to potential foes but also to allies, showcasing their commitment to self-defense and stability. Europe's interconnected defense. Despite its neutrality, Switzerland is intricately connected to the European security framework. The country collaborates closely with its neighbors in intelligence sharing, joint training exercises, and defense research. A threat to Switzerland would be perceived as a threat to the stability of the European continent as a whole. Switzerland's neutrality is a policy of peace, not isolation. Through diplomacy, economic interdependence, and a proactive defense stance, the nation has ensured that even if tested, it would not stand alone. The Swiss have artfully combined neutrality with prudence, ensuring they remain a respected and integral part of the global community. In conclusion, the European landscape is shifting, and the stakes are higher than ever. Your insights and perspectives truly enrich our community, so don't hold back. Let us know your thoughts down in the comments. And hey, if this video provided you value, it'd mean the world to us if you'd hit that subscribe button and give us a thumbs up. Remember, every click brings us closer together in understanding our world. Thanks for being a part of our Warzone Today family. Take care and keep shining.